All right. Welcome back to another powerful episode of the Milo Davis Show, which is about inspiration and information to impact the nation. It's about having total prosperity in every area of your life. I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, as well as relationship-wise. And I got a powerful treat for you. You are in for a fantastic treat, a good conversation, something that's going to warm your body, your mind, and your soul. So go ahead, get your cup of coffee if you need it. Go ahead and get your water, your favorite drink, maybe some tea. And join us right back in a few minutes after this commercial break. We're going to talk about decisions, the decisions that you make it right now. Are you designing a life that you admire? I'll see you right back after this commercial break. All right, we're back. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the Milo Davis Show. I'm excited. First of all, we told you guys that we were going to give $100 away to the winner of one of our shows that we did, that we talked about is let me make sure I turn my stuff down. It has the world grown cold after the pandemic. And we went ahead and we said we was going to give $100 away. If you can give us your experience or what you've seen or what you heard or felt since we were locked up, won't let you out. Since we was locked up, we wanted to, I'm silly as hell. We wanted to make sure that you let us know how you feel. And so some awesome super duper star went ahead by the name of Kathy Audrey. She dropped her comment down. She was one of the first ones to watch it, and we gave her 100 cool. But woo! So congratulations, Kathy Audrey. I hope you put those $100 to good use, girlfriend. So, and that's what we want. That's what we do. We give away. We do contests. We like to give away trips. We like to give away money, gadgets. That's our way of just saying thank you. So when you hear me say, hey, look, drop a comment below. Make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you hit the bell. Guys, you go into a drawing where we pull your name and we might contact you and say, hey, look, send me your Cash App. Hey, look, go ahead. You got this coming. I got that. Inbox me for your prize, because we mean what we say what we mean, and we do it, damn it. And I want you to know that. You heard it first right here on the Milo Davis Show. So anyway, we're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. And look, I know this show might go a little bit over my time because I got somebody that's in the studio today that I love very much. He's a go-getter. He is I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit all about what he's doing. I ain't gonna spoil it. But he's all the way here by the way of his special castle. Bring him in the studio from all his trips that he's getting ready to fly out and do all this stuff, and his jiu-jitsu and all these powerful things and modeling and all this old stuff. I just want to go and get him in the studio. Guys, let's give it up for the one and only Mr. Sir Vincent Lee. Woo! What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
It's good to see you. So I know I'm gonna be asking. I don't know why I get so silly when I'm around you. You bring out the silly bug. So look, even though I'm going to be asking you questions, I want you to look into the camera because I want you to, people to feel your experience. And so I'm going to ask you some questions. We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. Okay. Can you tell me your full name? You know, how old are you and what is your background? What do you do at this time?
Yes, so my name is Darrell Vincent Lee.
Sir
Vincent. Mm-hmm. I go by Sir Vincent. I am 26 years young. Mm-hmm. I have a background in the military and logistics. I currently work in logistics and also do like coaching and modeling and mentoring, and then also I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an opportunist.
You know Batman, then, don't you? Oh wow!
Speaker, coach, and my biggest like thing I love to do is helping people and connecting with people.
Oh wow! Well, yes. So guys, look, this dude is multi. So you single, brother?
Yes, man, absolutely.
You single? Okay, he on the market, ladies. He on the market for the right woman. Yeah. So okay, and he's my son too. Make no mistake about that. Okay, so I want to talk because I always tell you got an old soul, right?
Oh, thank you,
you know, he's 26, but don't let that fool you. Probably 40 something. You know, we don't know how old a soul is, but because I swear sometimes when I'm talking to him, I feel like I'm talking to a much mature young man. I have to look sometimes like, wait a minute, you know. But we're talking about decisions, son, deciding a life you admire. How do you make the right decisions? Because you look at, I start off with this and then you can jump in because I just want us to be free. We're going to, like we normally do when we have lunch and stuff. We free here. We just want to let the people be involved. So, I was telling people on Facebook, I said, I went to this conference years ago, right? And at this conference, this man, his name is John Saturis. Remember John Saturis, Bruce? And what we used to always laugh about John, because John was the serious presenter, because he had to do he would come with the PowerPoints up in there. He was the only one that I felt, right, Dave, that would come with PowerPoints on the stage. He's motivating and encouraging you. And he had a picture of like a shack and then a mansion. Broke down Pinto versus a Benz or a Ferrari, whatever. He had, different pictures and stuff. And then he had people, he said, let me ask you something. What do you see here? And some people was giving out different answers. And somebody said choices. He said, absolutely. Or we can say decisions, because it was a decision for you to be in that shack, or the decision for you to be in that mansion, decision for you to drive a broke down Pinto. Like I went to this other conference, this dude said he had an average life with an average wife in an average house. Wow. And he said he was just living an average life and he knew it and he had to do something about it. So what I want to talk to you about is, how do you design a life you admire? And guys, let me qualify. Vincent, this dude is only 26 years old. I'm going to tell you business a little bit because I want them to talk too much. I ain't going to tell. I want nobody. We don't want nobody asking you to cash app them, okay? Exactly. But let's just say he lives in a very upscale place here in Georgia. The brother makes damn good money. You're also, you can tell the people you're in school online, finishing up.
I'm in school as well.
Yeah,
for summer semester.
Yeah, in school, finishing up. What is this, the third year?
Yes,
third year. So he already got his associate. He's almost getting ready to have that BA. And what else? You're in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I study jiu-jitsu. I'm about to compete.
You're getting ready to compete in 2 weeks. Yes. This dude is, Batman, right? And I'm just looking. You have no children.
No kids.
No kids. By the grace.
That was God. That wasn't me.
I know that. Because you was in the activity.
I was
stroking. The stroking in the east. The stroking in the west. We get together, we cut on this. My husband over there shaking his head. We get together, we act like fools. I'm telling you, I love it. But so no children, you live in a great life. How did you design your life like that? Because people your age right now, they're looking at going to the club, trying to get into every pair of panties they can, going so well, just talk about that. I want to shut up. You talk.
Well, I started with designing my life. Well, first, I don't take credit for my life. I give God all the credit.
Amen. Amen.
I'm a baby, fools and babies. You get
I know that's right.
Fortunately, God, covered in my life, and my biggest gift has been humility, hands down. Humility saves me from when I'm making the wrong decision, because fortunately, I have good people in my life that I can ask good questions to, and I'm humble enough to receive the advice that they give me. I'm even if it's not a family member, I'm very open from, receiving messages from, if you're mystical, I'm gonna throw a word out the universe real quick. So I'm open from receiving messages from people, places, things. I feel like God communicates to you through people, places, and things. So I look for those messages, and I look for the messages that resonate to me. And my big thing in my life is about being truthful and honest, and being deliberate and intentional for where I want to go. The first thing I
want to pause you right quick, because I asked you, can I do this? And you said yes. Okay, so this is where you are now. But I can remember just November, you made a big decision.
Oh yeah, hands
Can
down.
you tell the people about that decision, where you were in November? Because they, a lot of people, y'all see, you hear the glory, but you don't know the story. Yeah. What happened November that brought you to where you are today?
Well, what happened in November was I had officially broke up with the woman that I had been, my ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, ex-everything. She was, the first love that I really, really had, cultivated, really put my heart, my intentions.
And we still love you, T, though.
Of course, you're always going to be loved and respected. But that was my first relationship. So because of that, I got in that relationship, and I stayed with that relationship so long. A lot of the reason being afraid to face life, afraid to face insecurities, afraid to face delusions, illusions, afraid to face my destiny, my choices, what I want to do, what I want to be. Being in that relationship, focusing on that relationship, focusing on her, allowed me to not focus on myself. And when COVID happened, COVID didn't really affect me and her too hard, and as far as financially, because God had set us up really well to where we were able to weather the storm of COVID. But it affected us in the regards of realizing how much self-love that we wasn't practicing. So, when COVID happened, I was in the house a lot. I was in the house. So I started getting really heavy into meditation, really heavy into earthing, really heavy into anything and everything to help me just cleanse and heal and to feel better. Went vegetarian, just went really holistic and just positive and healthy to just, do that inner work. And what I didn't realize was God was actually teaching me how to love myself and how to take care of myself. And this is what I say is more important to anybody. And this is the first step to changing your life, is you have to actually think you are deserving of a worthy life. You actually have to feel like you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have good things around you. You deserve to have good people around you. Because a lot of times people will get good opportunities and get a breakthrough to change a bad situation, but they won't take it because they don't feel like they deserve it. Or they won't take it because they're scared. Oh, if I step into this, my old self, because of who I used to be, what I used to do, what I used to say, it's going to sabotage this decision. But they don't realize in just making the decision, you already are not who you used to be.
So this is when you say it's kind of like you're getting in your own way.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting in your own way. And I bring all this back into the relationship in November because I had known in my heart, and me and her both had known, because we had talked about it numerous of times, on needing to not be in a relationship to heal. Needing to not be in a relationship to change, needing to not be in a relationship to develop, to become a healthy adult. So we need to take that time to do that. Both of us was terrified to do that. But it got to a point where my spirit was just screaming at me that the life that I was living was nowhere near the life I was capable of living. And that I had to make the decision I was terrified of making, which is to leave. You know, I left on very respectful terms. Me and her are still, you know, even though we don't talk, we could be on speaking terms if we wanted to, because I left with respect. I left with integrity, you know, and she did the same way, you know, of course, other than, you know, being young and petty, you know, but nothing detrimental, nothing crazy. We left on respectful terms, and I left even more powerfully with the intention on becoming a man and establishing a life. And that's what I really want to slam to people is it's the intentions. It's what intention you set when you make a decision that decides what manifests when you get into that. So if you leave your girl not to develop yourself as a man, but to just get into some more well, that's what's going to happen. You're going to leave your girl, and then you're not going to actually mature and develop. You're going to just get into more and then you're back to where you started, when you actually fall in love with somebody, or you never actually do fall in love with somebody because you're terrified of being with somebody, because you know what you got going on isn't ready to be with somebody. So the big goal is to set clear intentions and to be willing to deal with the storm. You know, you're going to go through a transition. I have no shame in talking about what I've been through, because I know where I'm going. So, you know, I was in a motel. I slept in a motel for a month, you know what I'm saying? Like, struggling financially in a state that no longer felt like home, because my wife that was there / girlfriend moved and left, went back home. So I was struggling. I went through a transition. I had to come back home to mom's house. You know, I had to bite that as a man. That's very, very, very hard decision as a you know, a testosterone male, a male that's going out there like, dude, I'm getting it. I want to, you know, be a man. That's very hard to do, but I had to do it because it was the best decision for my mental health, for my physical health, and then for my financial health as well.
Okay, so we're going to pause right there, guys. We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire, not your mama, your brother, your sister, your cousin. You admire. You're watching the Gene Milo Davis Show, which is every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When we come back, we want you to take us from Mama House to the big house. So join us back in a few minutes after this commercial break. That beat be fresh, though.
That beat be thumping.
Hey. I can't never get you. I can't never get you in the studio. Just be clowns. But we're talking about designing life, and you was telling us that you admire. You was telling us about what you went through. You end up biting the bullet, saying, "Mom, I gotta come back home, Mama." You came back home, and then take us from what happened then.
Yeah, so I came home, and when I came home, it was really difficult. You know, I was going through a lot of emotions.
Yeah, you were.
You get what I'm saying? Going through a lot of emotions. But I learned that the best way to get out of hell is to go through hell. You can't stop.
Don't stop.
You get what I'm saying? You
cry and move.
Cry and move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can be suffering, you can be going through stuff, but you have to keep moving. And so the first thing I did when I got here in Georgia is I went to a jiu-jitsu class. Because I knew so
that's like an outlet.
Yeah, that's an outlet. It was an energy outlet. It was a positive energy outlet to devote my time, because I didn't want to grab people and start adding more chaos into my life, because now I'm dealing with more chaotic people. You know what I'm saying? I knew my frequency, what my frequency was at that time was very low. So what I was going to attract was going to be a low vibrational person. You know what I'm saying? So I needed something healthy that was going to make me, and I knew immediately, I was like, dude, I need something intense, something strenuous, something that's going to make me work hard, because it's going to give me focus. It's going to give me discipline, and more than it's going to give me a place to donate that energy, that emotional energy. So that's what I'm saying. So I went in there. I got that quick. Found my home jiu-jitsu gym home, Buckhead Jiu-Jitsu. Shout out to Buckhead Jiu-Jitsu. That's the home. Come see your boy if you want to.
That's right.
But
you tell him we gave him a plug.
I gave him a shout out.
Okay.
But so I end up joining that, and from there I immediately went into what did I want my life to be like. You know, I didn't expect all the stuff that came to come from it, but that's what happens when you make the right decision for yourself. God will give you way more than what you thought was coming. So
tell me what happened. What happened after you joined the jiu-jitsu?
So I joined jiu-jitsu, and then you know, I'm doing. First thing I knew is I needed a stable job. You know, I needed stable income. So I wrote down what that meant to me financially. You know, I knew, okay, what do I need to be to live the life I want to live? Because I didn't want to live in a bad neighborhood. I didn't want to have just enough money to pay my rent. I wanted to have an abundance. I wanted my job to be able to take care of all my financial needs, all my due-dates, all my expenses. So I immediately made that my job. That was the first thing I did. So I made getting a job my job, and then so I secured that.
Explain that, getting a job your job. What that means?
I made not having a job and getting a job my actual job. Okay. So until I have a job, that's my job every day, to get up every morning and put the resumes out. I mean, we live in the information age now, so you're not paper pushing. You don't have to do that. Not handing out brown envelopes. Right. No, you're on LinkedIn. You're on Indeed doing a couple of resumes in your pajamas. Like it's too easy to do. 10 applications. You got a shout out. It's a magic number. 10 applications a day. A day. You know what I'm saying? Financial bracket you want to do. You do that for a month, I would be shocked if you don't have people calling you. So I did that, secured in the job, and then it's foolish if you're not. I activated my school benefits, my post 9/11 benefits, and I used it. I go to school and get paid to go to school.
It's yours.
It's my entitlement. So if you're a vet and you got that, take that very seriously. That's free money, and you can use that money in compilation with, you know, you working a job. If you need to work a job, you can do and stack that. Like this is when you're young, you're supposed to be hustling, you're supposed to be moving. So I did that, and then from there, I figured out what I was into, you know, what I want to make a business out of, which is coaching and mentoring and helping people. And then also, you know, helping them, whether that's fitness, whether that's, you know, affirmations, whether that's self-love, coaching and mentoring them in their life, you know. So I discovered that, which is my passion. I shifted my focus from making money and chasing everything that everybody's my age is supposed to chase, right, to creating a fulfilling life for myself. You know, a life
for yourself,
for myself, right, not for anybody else, not for the woman I want to come, for myself, for me to be happy with what I got going on by myself. I want to see myself in that energy, because I knew, man, seeing myself in that I'm happy with myself energy is going to attract that.
Okay, so I'm going to pause you right there, because I want to go over, for those who just joined us, you're watching the Gene Milo David Show, which is every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. It's about information and inspiration to impact the nation. Tonight, we're talking about decisions, okay? Designing a life you admire. I asked my son to come here because I saw him go down a lot of, you know, you don't want to see your children go through anything and stuff like that. We want to be there for them. I saw him make a drastic decision, because he could have stayed with you. Could have stayed with your girl, right? Because y'all wouldn't know.
Yeah, we weren't beefing, and we were still entertaining, right, you know, being together and stuff like that.
But you made a decision. You said, this is something I feel within myself to walk into my manhood. I got to leave so I can go ahead and get to where I need to be.
Absolutely.
So I pause you on what you was doing, because I want you to say what's happening now. But we said, how do you design a life you admire? We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. You dropped some bombs here, a lot of bombs. The first thing you talked about is why people don't make the right decisions. They're afraid to face life, insecurities, fear, focusing on others and what others think, not focusing on yourself. This is why a lot of people don't make the right decisions. And we give so many people power over us and our decisions and what they think about us, when I'm going to tell you right now, what people think about you is none of your damn business. Okay. Ooh. It's none of your damn business. Okay. So you need to understand that a lot of times that's what's stopping us from making a decision, because it may not correspond with someone else, their image or their thought of you. Yeah. Right. So you're like, well, I don't want to disappoint this one. I don't want to What about disappointing yourself every day when you wake up and you're living a lie? You're living in pain and hurt and fear. Aren't you tired? If you're not where you want to be, aren't you tired of that? It's called designing a life you admire, not your mom, not your brother, not your cousin. Okay. So you also, and when you tell where you got to, I want to stop right there because we're going to talk about, you also said a lot of times we can be going to another level, but then we start getting in our own way with doubting ourselves, thinking that you don't deserve to be happy, right? Yes. Not loving yourself, that you can see yourself getting to a new level, but some kind of way you sabotage it because you got these doubts and fears and really just self-hate. Yeah, self-hate. Self-hate, that's what it is, that is stopping you from designing a life that you admire. So let's get back. So now you said you had to do the purging and work on yourself and things of that nature. You know me, I like to get into the good news. So after November, you made the decision to leave. You had to do the hard thing, come to parents, mama, right? Mm-hmm. You had to come to mom and dad, and then you said you start your journey. You found a community. I love that. You found a community, jiu-jitsu, to work on that mental and that physical. Mm-hmm. You know, it's healing too. Absolutely. Right. Yes, and then from there, you said that you start looking for the job that you desire, putting in those 10 resumes a day. You said 10 is the magic number. Yes. You're playing games for the income that you desire. Yes. And then tell us what happened from there.
So I ended up getting the job that I wanted. It came finally, exactly the job that I wanted, of course. And when it came, I moved with speed. I moved with speed. I locked down my apartment. Ended up being a way nice apartment than I expected to stay at.
You're living in a community. So let me just set the scene, because he's being real modest, because you heard him say he has humility. This dude set the scene where his place, I love it. You know, I told him, I said, one day I'm just going to have to come over there and just hang out one day. He has it where it's all inclusive. He don't even have to take out his own trash. Just put his trash outside his door. Concierge come gets it. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Then he has a gym that's attached to his place that he can go right downstairs, go to his gym, 24/7 access. And then also he can walk around the corner. He has a coffee shop there. If he wants to entertain someone, he has a brewery. Correct. And then y'all have a barbecue spot. What is it? Barbecue spot. Asian barbecue spot right there. So it's like, it's all in.
It's in the community.
It's in the community. Yeah. And it's sexy. You like it.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe. It's nice. It's very nice to, you know, if you bring somebody there, they're gonna definitely be like, okay, you take good care of yourself. You got something going on. The people there is very functional. You know, there's no dysfunctional type of energy there. Mm-hmm. The you know, it has that air, that fresh, bring you to life type of air. You get what I'm saying?
It's sexy. It is.
It's nice, you know, and I'm blessed for that. But like I said, but more than I was able to like get my nieces in jiu-jitsu, and they love it. You get what I'm saying? They are having a blast with that. That's probably like one of the most successful accomplished things that I have. Mm-hmm. And then the biggest thing is just to see myself taking care of myself.
Okay, so that's what I was going to talk about. You know, and I had to interrupt you because I want you to, my biggest thing, because I grew up, I told you guys who first joined the show that I grew up with my mom battling mental illness and things of that nature. And a lot of times people feel that, you know, especially in the Black community, we're supermen, superwomen, no doubt. But a lot, you know, we need help. We need help from past hurts, past pains, doubts, fears, insecurities, things that may have left a little notch on our belt that we may need to get it smoothed out. And we talk about, remember, the Gene Milo Davis show is about mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, and relationship wise. It's about total prosperity. So you even went not only, okay, so you got the place you want, you got the money you want, you're doing jiu-jitsu, you got a competition coming up in 2 weeks, you're modeling, okay, but you did something that really shocked me, son. You sought out a psychiatrist. Yeah. I said, what? Yeah. What made you do that? Because, you know, that's uncommon in the Black community.
Yeah, because mental illness and going through mental struggle is a real thing. You know, a lot of people wait till it's too late. There's a reason why you go before it happens, so it doesn't have to happen. It's called preventative care, and we have to be honest and transparent. We got very scarred. We literally are born and nurtured in a way that is against our nature. So of course you're gonna go, like, you know, I have no problem talking about I grew up without my biological father in my home. True. That created issues for me that I didn't even know was there until I started growing up into adulthood and becoming a man, and I'm starting to realize certain insecurities and inadequacies because of scarring and trauma. So I'm like, you know, and to bring a wife into my life, you know, being married before, I had the blessing to have experience. And I'm not like I said, humility is my biggest gift, because I can be humble enough to be honest with myself for what I was doing to her in the relationship. And she was experiencing things from me in the relationship, from trauma and from pain. And if I want to have a better quality of relationship, because I don't know how people do this thing where they date, fall in love, and then they end. Like, I can't keep doing that. I can't keep falling in love. You know, that shit painful. When you leave your loved one, that's painful. It's painful. So why would you want to? Exactly. You want to get rid of whatever you got to get rid of, and get out whatever you got to get out. So when you bring in your queen or king, whatever it is, to manifest your dynasty, you not tearing down the bricks yourself.
Because that's when we're talking about designing a life you admire. You can't design anything if you're broken.
You can't. You don't even know what to design. You don't even. I always say this. You can't expect somebody to give you the love that they cannot give themselves.
Ooh. You're gonna say, can you say that one more time? What now?
You cannot expect somebody to give you the love that they cannot give themselves.
Wow.
Meaning, if they do not give it to themselves, it is impossible for them to give it to you. If they do, if it looks like they're giving it to you, I promise it's a look. It's not a real feeling. It's not real love.
Wow.
Because real fake love is the fairy tale, you know, I'll just tell you all the good stuff.
Yeah,
and
tell you what you want to hear.
Tell you what you want to hear. And as long as we happy and we good, things are good. Real love is when we have arguments. What do you turn into? You get what I'm saying? When you're depressed, what do? Do you shut people out? Do you let your loved ones in? How do you take care of yourself? Right. That's what real love is. Real love is accepting the good and the bad of the person. But it's your job to work on yourself as an adult, especially if you're saying you want good quality people. That's the biggest thing, is what are you saying you want? You should be what you want. And in my opinion, you should be a little better than what you're asking for, because that's the only way you know you deserve to keep it. You know what I'm saying? It's when you start asking for something that you don't deserve or don't belong to, that you start doing all this dysfunctional, controlling type behavior to try to keep it.
Well, guys, look, we're gonna, and some other things that I'm gonna do an overview, and we're gonna be closing out in a little bit, guys, because I mean, for him to be so young, it just really just, man, it just really makes you think, because a lot of times we keep repeating the same mistakes. Therefore, we're designing a life of hell.
Yes.
Instead of having heaven at your feet at once. Guys, we're going to come back and we're going to wrap up with Sir Vincent Lee. You're watching the Gene Milo Davis Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. I'm free, I'm finally free, I'm finally free. Listen, you can do anything you want to do, as long as you believe it. and you're ready to receive it. And that's the most important thing. You have to be ready to receive it. Hi, I'm Jean Davis. I'm the founder and CEO of Tiffis LLC, as well as TWC, Tiffis Wealth Creators. Listen, I remember years ago, I was a single mom struggling with 4 kids. I was abandoned with my 4 kids, guys, over a friend's house, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't know how I was going to survive, but I made a promise to myself. I said, God, if I get out of this situation, my children will never have to worry about money again. They'll never have to worry about being in a situation. So I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, guys. I found the mentor. I found the coach. I found someone to help me to become financially free. And guys, I thank God for mentors. I thank God so much for coaches, because guys, my mentor, my coach helped transform my mindset so I can attract wealth. And guess what? I became the first millionaire in my family, and not the last. But I'm here to help people who are struggling, people who have been in the same situations that I've been in. Whether you're a single mom, single dad, you're a teacher, you're an accountant, guys, you're a student, you're a mother, you're a father, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Maybe you're looking for time freedom. You're looking for money freedom. You want to know how you can brand yourself. You want to know how you can build your business. You want to know how you can have, be, do anything. Well, guys, listen, what I want you to do, I want you to go ahead, click on the link below. I want to invite you to a community of winners, a community of wealth creators, doctors, lawyers, teachers, business owners who are learning how to build their business on the web. They're learning how to be audit proof in their business. They're learning how to become financially free. They're learning about automation. And guys, they're learning how to brand themselves. And I want to show you what I did and how you could be a part of a strong community and become financially free and have time freedom, money freedom to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. So my name is Jean Davis. I am a wealth creator. Listen, go ahead and click on the link below. Click on the link below so we could go ahead and get you started and help you become a wealth creator too. I'll see you on the other side. Take care. Oh wow, we're back. We're back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Jean Milo Davis Show, which is every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire, with my special guest, Sir Vincent Lee. He's telling his story. I brought him in the studio because, yes, he's my son, and I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of you, son, because, when I look at the things that you could be doing, and this is I'm not bragging or boasting, as we say this, I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you. The thing about it is the income that you make as a 26-year-old man, some 40-year-old men are not even making it. You understand? And that's one stream. You got multiple streams of income, right? And and I love the fact that what you talked about is that with you, for those who just joining us, we're talking about designing a life, and we went over some things, and we're going to wrap up in a minute. But I like that you said you got a psychiatrist to release any daddy issues you may have, or abandonment issues you may have, and things of that nature, because I really feel that we all need to have a psychologist, someone to sit down and talk about what is affecting us that is not allowing us to get out of our own way. We keep repeating the same patterns, getting in the same relationship with different people, but it's the same person, and different bodies. Why we will seem like we get some success, and the minute you grab hold, whoop, it gets snatched out your hand, because like some of the things that you say, you feel you get in your own way, you feel like you don't deserve it, all those hurts and pains, the things start echoing. It's just like, I'll say this and I want to pass it back to you. It's just like, for me, thinking about a woman who has been abused all her life. and she has abusive relationships and, abandoned by men and things of that nature. And then she prays, she hoped to get a good man. Then she get a good man. And because she hasn't healed or got that mess, that baggage out of her, she started looking at that other man like the new man in her life, like he's the problem. And then start looking at him with strange eyes, that she sabotaged that relationship because she hasn't healed within. So you was talking about healing and what needs to be done, what you have to do.
Yeah, you got to take it very seriously. If God puts you single, it's another opportunity. It's an opportunity to get that inner work done. There's no embarrassment, there's no shame, but you must take it serious, because in accepting a dysfunctional life, you're just robbing from yourself. Nobody suffers but you. You get what I'm saying? That's one thing to really remember. Like, that's what's assisted me so much in becoming more confident, more bold, more honest with who I am and how I am, and not caring what people think about it, is I'm realizing, damn, when I go, none of these people going with me. It's just me. When I'm in there paying my rent, every time my rent comes, none of these people is giving me a check for my bills. So why am I concerned at all about what they think their opinion is? Insane. It's like, to dampen the quality of my life about something you care about, it's to a point where it's just like, it's ludicrous. And then two, I know when I suffered, so I deserve to be blessed. You get what I'm saying? I suffered, so I'm going to enjoy my blessing all day. You know what I'm saying? And that's, if you have to convince yourself, get out of the thinking that being broke and being traumatized and being tortured is what you're supposed to be in. That's not what you're supposed to be in. You're supposed to have blessings. You're supposed to have multiple streams of income. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be positive. You're supposed to be radiant when you walk in the room. If you're not, you're dysfunctional. So now we need to get back to a functional, happy place. God brought us here to have blessings. Not to be cursed. I love what you're saying, that God brought us here. I have it over my fireplace, where I have a little journal that it says, it's Jeremiah, I forgot the scriptures, but it says in the Bible, I know the plans, this is God speaking, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, plans not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And when I think about that, that's what I subscribe to. He said, above all things, he wants for me to prosper, be in good health as my soul prosper. So that's what my Father, the creator of the heaven and earth, wants for me. That's my subscription. That's my prescription. Anything else is uncivilized. Right? Yeah. So I want to speak to this before we wrap up. Failure happens. Oh, yeah. We come out the gate, we put on paper what it is that we want. We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. We're going to fail. What do you say to a person who, might not, they started a business, it's not working. They're in a relationship, it's not working. They started a venture and, they thought that this was going to be the one thing that's going to put me on top, and it failed. What do you say to those people, Vincent? Well, the first thing I say is, I love how my seafood coach, my jiu-jitsu trainer, he says all of his biggest victories came after his biggest losses. And if you are healthy thinking, if you think about your life in a positive way, you will be able to trace your most successful periods of time, your most successful talents, your most successful gifts to the most traumatic things that you've been through. God does that for a reason. But you have to find gratitude. If you can't find gratitude, you're not going to be able to be positive. You have to actually be grateful to realize, I do have things other people don't have. Yes, that's true. I have good things going on for me in all this chaos. I still have good things going on for me right now. If I put my energy and attention into those, it grows. If I put my energy and attention to the dysfunction, that grows. What you focus on expands. It's okay to take a step back. Like I tell people all the time when they do fitness and they like, oh, I was fit in this, I've been fat, I've been fat the last couple months. That's good. That's what fitness is. It's a constant journey. You go back sometimes, and then when you go back, you're like, oh, I need to get even better. So you look 10 times better than you did when you were fit before. Then you may go back a little. Then you go back into that's called life. But you don't stop. That's the critical point. You can't allow you can't allow a temporary mishap. Like, for example, going for something great. Whenever you're trying to achieve anything great, you are going to face great difficulty. Period. You can't obtain the greatest things in this world not going through difficulty. So you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where you don't even know why you're doing. You think you're crazy. Right. But it all leads to that moment where you have that breakthrough, where you have accomplished that goal. And then all of those failures just solidify the fact that you just did that shit. Excuse my friend. But you just accomplished
your vernacular.
My vernacular. But you just accomplished that. So it's all. Pay more attention to your perspective and less to the stimuli going on in your life. Focus on having a grateful and a gracious type of attitude, because that's when the universe and God loves to bless you. When you can be going through shit and still smiling, still happy, still praising God, still on your knees praying every morning, thanking God for what's coming. Because then you get it. You get it 10 times bigger and better than you ever thought it was going to be.
Because I wrote down when you were saying being grateful, whatever you think about and think about, you bring about. I want to, before we go into the conclusion, I want to bring on, we was talking about how do you design a life you admire. We talked about why people don't make the right decision. Now, I want to go over some of the things you said to design a life you admire. You got to, what are your intentions? This is what you got to ask yourself. What intentions do you have for yourself? You got to set clear intentions. He said your energy need to be positive. Yes.
Why it just hit me. And for anybody that's asking, okay, well, if I'm going through negativity, how do I start to have positive things going on in my life? You make positive decisions. If you're traumatized, how do you become untraumatized? You do what untraumatized people do. You get what I'm saying? That's all it is to it. Just do it. Instead of doing that dysfunctional thing today, go do some yoga. Go do some stretching. Go say some affirmations to yourself. I say this to people all the time. When's the last time you told yourself in the mirror, I love you? Like, looked in the mirror in your eyes and said, I love you. You tell that to all these people all the time, but you don't tell it to the most important person.
Exactly.
They're going to say it's about what you just do something positive and do it every day. Start with 1 minute a day. I tell people all the time, they're like, I struggle with meditation. Okay, start with doing meditation for 1 minute a day. That sounds silly. No, start with 1 minute a day. You're going to naturally, after doing that for 30 days, be like, I want to do 5 minutes. That's how the brain, that's how the body works. Once you're doing it, it starts growing on it. But you got to make the first decision, which is to do it.
So you said set clear intentions and energy, set clear intentions and be positive. And then you said find a positive outlet. That's what you're talking about, whether that's mental, fasting, meditating, or doing yoga.
Yeah, you're gonna need something that is actually instilling positivity into your life. It's about what you're doing and what you're saying. So that's why I say find something that's a positive activity. Just like you have the dysfunctional activities, and we don't have to name that. We all know what we do that's dysfunctional. To do more positive functional things in your life than you are dysfunctional. You'll start noticing over a time period, you don't even want to do those dysfunctional things anymore. It'll naturally phase out. But you must keep doing the good things that's giving you good energy, that's giving you balance in your life. Got to keep doing it.
So we rapid fire right now, guys, because we're going to wrap up. He said, also set your goals mentally, spiritually, financially, etc. You got how business goes. He said preventive care. I really love that, to help you with your mind, anything that you're going through, seek counseling to help you to get out of your own way and have the attitude of gratitude. Work on yourself every day. Work on yourself. You gave a lot of good key right there. Is there anything that you want to say to wrap up the show? What's some of the things that you want to say to close it out?
The only thing I want to say to you is whenever you make a decision, things happen. I'm gonna tell you that. As soon as you make the decision,
his uncle distraction
come up. But more importantly, that decision is going to immediately lead to other good decisions for you. I made the decision to show up to jiu-jitsu class, and from there, decisions and things that I didn't even expect are coming into my life, and it's beautiful. But the biggest thing that stops people is they just never start. It's that simple. They always in that space where they just never make the decision. They never do it. And then but you have no idea how happy you're gonna be and how different you look doing something that serves you as opposed to something that don't. I'm telling you, you'll be at a point where people don't even recognize you anymore.
You know, I'm having an out-of-body experience because this is my baby, this is my son, and you know, and it makes you just, you know, we did a good job. We did a good job with it. Look, I got three more, you know, and I just want to say that it is definitely a blessing. You know, God talks about wisdom coming from babies, and I got a whole page. I was getting ready to open up another page on what you're sharing because the information is right. We're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. One decision I would definitely say that you need to make is make the decision to make you happy, not somebody else. Because you can say, if I lose weight, this one gonna love me. If I get this one gonna accept me. If I hit this goal, this one's gonna say my name. Give me a little pat on the back. This thing and that. Look, stop all that. Stop living for others. Not even you know, I'm gonna show them. You know, you're not showing them anything.
No, you're not.
Because the fact of the matter, the minute you get to that goal, you can't even enjoy it because it's not yours. You did it for somebody else.
You gave it to them.
You gave it to them.
Yeah.
So it's about designing a life you desire. You got to write down, as Vincent said, what it is that you want. Write down those goals, what you want. And I think, and I want you to caveat on it, I think, son, that the minute you decide that I just don't care what people think, I think that's some freedom right there.
That's when life begins. That's when the game begins. That's when you can actually play the game that you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're gonna say as long as you're in prison when you care about people's opinion. You're locked, your movements, you're so much of your personality, so much of how you want to move, your creativity is just trapped by other people's opinions. As soon as you're like, dude, the only person I value, the only opinion I value is my own. And care about, I do listen, and of course, you know, I care about my
counsel.
You know, we take counsel,
right?
But when it comes to that decision, I'm the decision maker of my life.
Absolutely,
you're free. You gain wings, and that's when you live a beautiful, extravagant, happy life.
Yeah, and that's what I think for me. You know, it's funny because I feel like the butterfly really spreading my wings is like, you know, I just hit 50, and it's a lot of things that you used to think about back in the day. It's like waters on a duck back. You just don't care about it anymore. Like, I don't really care what people say, what people think, because people don't pay my bills, but I do care about people. I care about making an impact. I care about life changes. I care about helping other people achieve their goals. I do root for the underdog. I root for the underdog because I said God has a funny sense of humor. Somebody looking at you like you're not gonna, you know, be anything. You know, the best revenge, guys, is getting your paper,
your cash.
Living an abundant lifestyle, living, you know, not living for somebody else, but really, truly living your life in totality. As we wrap up, I just thought about 2020. We lost a lot of people, man. You lost your uncle.
Yes, I did.
You know, and yeah, you know, it was you actually seen him go, you know, and then 2021, we heard about people losing their life. And it really, for me, and then a few years before that, 2018, I lost my mom. And so it really just something happened to me, in a sense, son, that in the listening audience that's watching, whether you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or watching a repeat or what have you, when you witness someone close to you passing, you realize, I don't have as much time as I think I got to sit around here and play with the life, the gift that God has given me to open my eyes and to see another day. That's why it's called the present. It's a gift. So you got to look at, guys, we did this because my son and I was having a conversation about it. We're actually getting ready to rear up towards the end of the year. We're getting ready to do a seminar that I'm glad to have you back on the stage. Things opening up. So it's going to be a 2-day seminar. You'll stand by for that. But we're talking about decisions, designing a life you admire. And I always say, we always have these little conversations at lunch.
Yes, we do.
and I'd be like, oh, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to do this. And I just want to say, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And it's awesome to see your life. I'm glad to be one of the cheerleaders, on the side, running with you and things of that nature. But I just want you to, before we close it out, just go ahead and wrap it up, and then we're going to close it out. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just like love yourself through your struggles, love yourself through your dysfunctions. It's all supposed to be enjoying, and the big goal is to love yourself for everything that you have, even the most ugliest, darkest parts of yourself. You have to learn to love, and you have to learn to accept them, because it's all part of you, and God gave it to you for a reason. And in accepting that, you accept your gift, which is to be free and to be unhinged by others' opinions. You know what I'm saying? But make the decisions that right now are hard, but will reward you later. A lot of times people know they have no business being with who they with right now. They know it. They know, man, I don't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But they just keep thinking about the temporary struggle they're going to go through. Oh, if I leave this person, I'm going to be down and out for a couple months. You have no idea how quick God changes your situation. I'm telling you, I went from sleeping in a motel to now, see my place, it's dope. The vibe, it's nice.
It is.
It's a nice
I want to
vibe.
go over there and have me a glass of wine and just sit on the deck, son.
It's nice. And I don't say that to be like flexy. I say it to let you know how quick God works when you're working for yourself. You got to work for yourself. You got to give yourself what you deserve, which is the best, because you are the best.
Wow. I have nothing else to say after that, but thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
You've been watching the Gene Milo Davis show with my special guest, Mr. Sir Vincent Lee. You're going to be seeing a whole lot out of him. We're going to bring him back in the studio. And I'm telling you right now, guys, you haven't seen anything yet. You've been watching the Gene Milo Davis show, which is every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Gene Milo Davis. I am a wealth creator. You want to do this with me?
Yes.
And remember that you're a wealth creator too, and you can have, be, do anything. We'll see you in another show. Take care.
Email for my business as well.
Yeah.
I'll send you an email later tonight.
Yeah, send me an email. But go to Calendar.